Hello and welcome to your next tutorial. In this tutorial we will be teaching pointers and what a pointer is and why they're important. So what is a pointer? Well, actually before I can answer that question I have to teach you about two different types of memory. The stack and the heap. And there's kind of a big difference between these two. All you have to know for now is that the stack is one form of memory, the heap is another, and we've been using the stack all along. And basically what the stack does is it holds variables and deletes them when they're no longer needed. It's not like garbage collection, it just knows when the function is over to delete the variable. For instance, int y. We allocate it on the stack. It knows once main is done, then y gets deleted and we don't have to worry about it. The heap is a different story. The heap, what it does is, remember in Java when you declared new int? If you run, so you get rid of that. When you run a new integer and giving me an error for some reason, maybe just bring this up a little. Okay, so well, let me ignore that for now. So what that heap does is, instead of the stack, it keeps all objects on the heap, and the objects don't get deleted, but they stay there until you, the coder, actually deletes them through code. Whereas a stack will do it automatically, the heap does it like that. Now you might be thinking, why would you need the heap versus the stack? And that's some topics we'll be discussing in future tutorials. I'm going to get rid of that. And just for now, realize that the stack and the heap are two different things. And what a pointer is, oh yeah, one more thing about the stack and the heap, is when you declare a new object like integer, banana, cat, or whatever, it creates an address for that object. And with that address, once you know where that address is, you can do some pretty powerful things, and let me show you what things you can do. And let me just stress this right now, that this is not a very good topic. This is not a good example to show you what this topic can do. But first off, let's just make a num1 and num2. Remember our add function, void add, and num1 and num2. And I recommend, if you still have math.cpp, if you still have that in there, get rid of it, because we're going to be using some new things with void add, or with the add function. So one thing that you might want to use a pointer for is, and that's what we're covering in this tutorial, modifying the original variable. And you might want to practice this after this tutorial is done, because this is really important that you understand it, because we will be using this quite a lot when we go into classes and stuff. So you might be thinking, okay, wait, you can modify, or hold on, let me think of this. You can use pointers to modify a variable outside of this main function. So you know that if you were to do y equals 90, it would run and it would say, wait, no, 90 doesn't exist. Okay, well then maybe we can try in here, y equals 90, or not, well yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. So wait, but y doesn't exist. So then how can you change this outside of the main function? You can use something called a pointer, and let me show you what a pointer does. The pointer gets the address of the variable, and once you know the address, you can modify the object using its address. And let me show you how it's done. How you would declare a pointer object is, first off, like any other thing, you would say what is pointing to. In this case, since y is an integer, we'll be pointing to an integer object. Then you have an asterisk, and after you have that, then you have the name of the pointer, which is u. This variable will hold the address to y. So we could do u equals y, but no, we can't. See, watch what happens when we run it. It says invalid conversion from integer to a pointer, and of an integer. So what we're doing here is y, whatever, y equals 8. We don't want u to equal 8, and in fact it won't let us do it. We want u to equal the address of y. how you do that is you just throw an ampersand in the front, and then you run it, and then you see no errors, and this says, okay, get the address of y and put it into u. Now, in this add function, we're going to be using a pointer variable to directly modify that y value. So once we pass in the u variable, it will modify y because it's pointing to the address, if you will. So how we would do this is you put pointer, put an asterisk in the beginning, equals num1 plus num2. Okay, we run it, nothing happens yet, just make sure we don't get any errors, and then you would do add 8, 6, u, and when you run it, too many arguments. Okay, so we want to put int pointer up there, we forgot about that, and then you'll see, okay, hold on, I forgot something. I was doing another tutorial on this, but for now just don't worry about that, and it didn't really work. Okay, so we forgot to do something, and then once you're done, you can see out y or u and l, and you can also see out y before and y after. So you can see 8 and then it turns into 14. This is very complicated. I know probably you guys are really confused as to what this does. For now, just realize that int y equals 8, this pointer object will take the address of y, and using that, take the address, ampersand says take the address of y. And once we have u equal to the address of y, we can use the address in this function in here to use this. And another thing, when you don't have the asterisk in front, you're modifying the pointer. See, if you run it, it says you can't because, but so if you don't have an asterisk, you're modifying the pointer. If you do have an asterisk, you're modifying the object that the pointer points to, which in our case is y. So we're saying, okay, whatever is passed in, y equals number 1 plus number 2. And since u holds the address of y, we use u to modify y. If that makes sense, I don't think it probably does. Practice with this, make your own subtract method. I won't walk you through that. That would be a good practice, make a subtract method to do that. And if you want it further, just do multiply and divide. And this isn't a real world use where you would want to use a pointer, because all you could do is just return integer. But this is kind of important to understand when you go on to classes and objects. So next tutorial we'll be making a class just like in Java, and actually, you know what, we'll make an enumeration because enumerations are a little bit easier. And until then, see you later.